Did you enjoy that? What a way to end the two-day forum. Thank you very much for that. I'd like to now invite Jenny, who is our counterpart from London, the ComSec, please to come, and there's a few more things that we're going to go through before tonight's event. Thank you.
So how do I follow this? And I think the answer really is briskly. So I won't take a very long time. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Namgil. I'm head of the Gender Division at the Commonwealth Secretariat, and it has been an immense pleasure to work with Lo'au and her team to lead the preparations for the Commonwealth Women's Forum. I really want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's made the time to join us. You know, I'm both personally and professionally immensely grateful for your time, wisdom, and generosity in sharing your experiences with us. In my team, we take the question of solidarity for gender equality very seriously, and I recognize that we bring multiple experiences, contexts, abilities, identities, and perspectives to the discussion. These are all important and reflect the complexity of life in a highly diverse grouping of countries that makes up the Commonwealth. Therefore, it's been absolutely imperative to hear from you, all of you, to understand a little of this complexity. Now, I am supposed to offer you a summary of the last 2 days, and I'd prepared a lovely summary, but I recognize that we're running quite late. So I think just a couple of reflections from my side. You know, we've had wonderful discussions on leadership. We've had amazing perspectives that women leaders from right across the Commonwealth have provided. You know, I think the question of why women should lead, why women should be in positions of leadership have been exemplified really clearly this afternoon with the Honourable Prime Minister here in front of us. And I think the thing that we took most clearly from this discussion was that gender equality and women's empowerment is actually good for everyone. It's not only for women, it's for everyone in our communities and families. And I think there is no clearer antidote to the pernicious idea that gender equality has gone too far than to recognize that it's good for everyone. So I must thank our leaders who've spoken. I must also thank all of you who've contributed to discussions on gender and climate change, on digital inclusion, on women's economic empowerment, and on ending gender-based violence. You know, all of these are issues that plague every one of our countries. They are not unique to one or another. And I really thank those of us who've made the time to share their experiences, because in this idea of solidarity for gender equality, we recognize that one solution is not going to apply for all. I must also thank my colleagues from the Pacific regional organizations, because we've had such an immense pleasure in learning from them about the ways in which regional organizations and cooperation can collaborate to strengthen gender equality. And I really hope that our other regions and sub-regions of the Commonwealth have taken this to heart. Lastly, I think on the question of leaving no one behind, we've had the most amazing discussions this morning, recognizing that only when we listen to women, girls, and other underrepresented groups can we identify and respond to their needs, such as financial inclusion, gender-responsive legislation, the collection of good quality data. I think, you know, the importance of listening to people who represent these groups is absolutely vital, and I do hope that we'll take this forward. I think finally this evening it has been such an immense honor to have with us the Honourable Prime Minister of Samoa, Fiame Naomi Mataafa, and the Honourable Prime Minister of Tuvalu, Feleti Teo, taking the time to join us in demonstrating commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment at the very highest levels. We could not ask for more committed or dedicated leaders. We're deeply honored by their presences, and we could only urge a similar commitment from all 56 of our heads of government. Surely this alone could help move mountains. I think, you know, To round out this evening, it is my immense honor to invite our Deputy Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Dr. Arjun Sadhu, to offer some final closing remarks before we move on. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. I promise you I will not keep you long. You've had 2 long days. Very warm greetings, Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, Commonwealth friends and colleagues. First of all, I would like to express our profound gratitude to each and every one of you for voluntarily giving us your time and your knowledge over the last 2 days, fortifying our partnership and truly exemplifying solidarity for gender equality. I do applaud the government of Samoa for being the first Pacific Island country to host CHOGM. I think a round of applause is up. And in particular, I commend the Honourable Mulipola Anarosa Alemolio, Member of Parliament, Minister for Women, Community and Social Development, and her team for their great dedication, commitment, hospitality and diligence in delivering what has been a very smooth, informative and productive Commonwealth Women's Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, gender equality has been a hard-fought battle for decades. Yet, despite many commendable achievements, and we've heard some of these today, this afternoon, it appears that progress has slowed, and if the status quo does remain, we are not in any way on course to achieve gender equality by 2030, or sadly in the decades to come. So the theme for the Commonwealth Women's Forum nevertheless highlights that advancing gender equality is a collective effort involving a diverse range of stakeholders, both globally and within individual countries. Over the past 2 days, discussions have emphasized that solidarity and partnership are essential principles in order to achieve lasting progress in gender equality and women's empowerment. In the Commonwealth, we consider gender equality fundamental to our shared goals of social and economic development, democracy and peace building, as well as crucial in tackling the issue of climate change. In line with our charter, we do recognize, ladies and gentlemen, we do recognize that gender equality and women's empowerment are basic human rights. Over these last 2 days, there have been lessons shared and meaningful discussions which have culminated in this closing plenary. I am delighted that the sessions of this Women's Forum created an opportunity to learn from our esteemed speakers and engage in sessions that examine the vital role of women and girls across all sectors of society. I am even more delighted at the high level of support demonstrated in the presence of the Honourable Prime Ministers of Samoa and Tuvalu this afternoon. The discussions over the last 2 days encompass critical issues such as the need for women in leadership, gender-responsive climate policies and action, the eradication of violence against women, the inclusion and participation of the most marginalized and vulnerable women and girls in development processes and policy making. And lastly, the importance of digital inclusion in women's economic empowerment. Throughout the 10 sessions, we have examined the critical components necessary to achieving gender equality in line with the overall theme, that is, collective action for a resilient Commonwealth, solidarity for gender equality. We shared best practices, legislative examples, and of course, strategies to move forward. We have gained first-hand insights from distinguished women leaders about their paths to leadership and the key areas of focus in their work, including enablers, challenges, and ways in order to accelerate women in leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, on the issue of gender and climate change, I am also very delighted that this forum created the platform to investigate the key barriers and challenges faced by our Commonwealth member countries in incorporating gender considerations into climate change, along with proposed solutions to address these obstacles. One of the Commonwealth's priorities on gender equality is ending violence against women and girls, and we've heard about this earlier today. According to the World Health Organization, and this is just amazing when you hear those statistics, according to the World Health Organization, nearly 1 in 3 women worldwide have experienced physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. I mean, this is the most despicable piece of statistics that we can hear from. These statistics, ladies and gentlemen, are not just numbers. They do represent real people, real pain, and shattered dreams. It is indeed timely that this forum considered effective initiatives to end gender-based violence, which are grounded in positive expressions of cultural context. As we conclude, we are assured that the outcomes will be presented to the heads of states later this week through our foreign affairs ministers. Furthermore, a very comprehensive record of this forum will be included in the official CHOGM documentation. This gathering of committed individuals, all of whom are diligently working towards gender equality, has reaffirmed a very powerful truth. When we unite in our aspirations, our learning, and our collective efforts, we have the capacity to transform the lives of millions of people for the better. Your dedication, your commitment will inspire confidence in the strength of our continued partnership and support. Let us end by quoting the words of Honourable Mulipola Anorosa Alemolio, MP, Minister for Women, Community and Social Development, Samoa. And she says, this forum is not just a place for discussion. It is a call to action. Together, we hold the power to drive meaningful, lasting change across the Commonwealth and across the whole world. We know none of the Sustainable Development Goals 5 targets for gender equality and women empowerment are on track. This needs to change, and the change has to start now. There can be no more delays, no more excuses. The recommendations you've made together will guide our 56 Commonwealth countries in taking bold action to pronounce 2030 as the expiry date of gender inequality. And that is a promise. Robust action on their recommendations will make sure all women and girls across the Commonwealth live with dignity and safety, with their full rights respected and with equal opportunities guaranteed. Together, as a Commonwealth family, we can achieve gender equality, a fundamental pillar for fulfilling the aspirations of the Commonwealth's Charter in fostering free and democratic societies and promoting peace and prosperity for all. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, by prioritizing gender equality and empowering women and girls, we can build a more inclusive and sustainable future for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DSG. And so now, distinguished delegates, it falls to me to say thank you all so much for your presence, and to remind you, just a little bit of housekeeping at the end, that the Government of Samoa is hosting a reception for all the forums this evening at St. Teresa's Retreat at Leuva'a. For international delegates, delegates who require transport, I believe the buses will be departing from the front of the building from the front of the convention center, sorry, not the front of the building, so downstairs where we took the photo yesterday. We hope to see you all there. Thank you all so much.